What is going on, guys? We have our drawing coming up. The drawing is coming up. Stay tuned. I am absolutely pumped for today. Just a few minutes to go, guys, and we're going to get started. Vote on the poll. Zamora's first in the building. You're already signed up, Zamora, for tonight's drawing, and as long as you don't win, you'll be signed up for next week's drawing as well. What's up, Wood? Good to see you, brother. Under a minute, and we're gonna get started, baby. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. It is 9 p.m. Eastern on October 27th, 2024. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to go over. Just to give you a little sample for your tasty taste buds there, we're going to go over the S&P 500 and some of the other components of the ETF, the VIX Volatility Index. And of course, we're going to give you my risk on, risk off scenario. And then we'll hit up the watch list. Then we'll check the chat and we'll see what you guys got going on. But first, we're going to check and see who won for last week's drawing. That's right. So stay tuned, because the first thing that we're going to do is do a drawing for that t-shirt and that coffee mug to see who won. And of course, if you want to be entered to win for next week's, all you have to do is comment in the section below. What's going on, Zamora, Wooden, Yosef, Stockalope? Let's get it, baby! All right, it is so good already to see so many people in the building. What's going on, guys? The very first thing we are going to do today, just because you know we got to do it. Can you guys see this on my screen right here? I'm sure that you can. This is our little drawing mechanism. We're going to click this button here, and when we click it, this thing's going to spin round and round, and you know the drill. If it lands on your name, then you win the t-shirt and coffee mug. So this is from last week, guys. And I think this is what we're going to start with. Remember, if you want to be in next week's contest, all you have to do is comment on the section below. We already have Zamora, Wooden, Yosef, Stockalope, Erica, Jimmy, B. Stewie, and the greatest moderator alive, your boy, Dan Bob Dan. Thank you guys so much for being here. And of course, all you have to do for next week is comment. So if you're in here and you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching it at a later time, make sure you catch us on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's good to see everybody in here. All right, I think we give it just a few more minutes. I really feel like we need to let everybody get in here. And maybe, you know what? We'll come back. We'll come right back to it. We'll come right back to it. We'll come right back to it, I promise. Let's wait. Let's get a couple more people in here, okay? I want to make sure everybody that was in here from last week have an opportunity to get in here this week. So let's just go over the S&P 500 really quick. I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but it's good news, right? As long as we're above a 21-day moving average, I am still risk on. Yes, we are tinkering around down here at the 21-day moving average, just like we were here, just like we were here, and all the way back here. Look at all that, okay? What happens when we break below? That doesn't mean I exit all my stocks. That doesn't mean I exit all my trades. That just simply means that I'm going to not take any more trades and be risk off. Right now, currently, I am risk on. We are teetering right around the 10-day moving average, and we're still above a 21-day moving average. Now, I'm not going to run through each and every one of these stocks like we usually do. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit up a few of the main ones that I wanted to look at. A few of those being Bitcoin. We talked about this channel being broken. It's lingering around like some bad breath back up here at this trend breakout area. Of course, I think for a cleaner look, this thing is going to do something like a pullback, and then it'll teeter around and head higher. Something more on the lines of like this before it takes off and really gets to moving. Okay, so that's just kind of my idea on this. Now, if it breaks out of here, then my hood trade's going to do well, right? So that's Bitcoin. Dow Jones Industrial finally had a pullback to an area of support. The IWM looks like it's also pulling back, but still trying to hold that 50-day moving average. Now, this is the main one that I want to tell you guys about is NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks like it's really starting to tighten up here on the 10-day moving average. And if it breaks out here, this could be another hoorah finale for NVDA. So definitely keep an eye on that. Yes, I am still holding NVIDIA. I know some of you guys are still out there holding NVDL, which was definitely a better move because it moves a little faster. So if you're a momentum trader, you should have taken NVDL. I just took NVDA just on the fly, my alert. I didn't even think about it. So you can call that a noob mistake if you want to. Google still trying to hold up down here. Meta still acting like a leader. I called this out as a leader a while back. It's still holding up very, very well. Apple is still holding above that trend breakout. And Tesla, I know a lot of you guys are looking and talking about Tesla. Yes, they did very well during their earnings. And they not only had a great earnings, as you can see here, if it'll let me click it. Let me see, what am I doing here? There we go. So they had a surprise beat at 21% on their earnings. Their revenue, though, they actually took a small hit. So it wasn't like a double beat, but it was a nice surprise on their earnings. So it's nice to see this thing starting to pop up here, starting to head higher. If it can break out of this area, you might have some continuation. I don't know. I've been having a really hard time trying to get a hold of Tesla. It stopped me out multiple times. In hindsight, yes, I should have taken it here. In hindsight, yes, I should have taken it here. Multiple times, though, it just kept stopping me out. So I'm kind of exhausted with Tesla, but it's nice to see you in here. All right, now that we got 10 of you in here, before I go carry on away, we're doing the drawing, and we're doing it now. So I hope everybody's paying attention. I'm pumped. You're pumped. First, I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Dan Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, for actually pulling this thing off. He called a lot of the company tickers that we were looking at, and just, throwing some feelers out there, letting them know that we're a show. And, this is the kind of stuff that we do. So appreciate you, Dan Bob, for being able to give back. We can give back to that community by doing this. So we have from last week, we have DePredator, B. Stewie, Yosef, Jolene, Sweet Jolene, and Jimmy Bright, Erica K, Zamora, Norman Conklin, Kevo Paban, and Mama Ginger Hopper, all commented last week. I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm going to click this button. Wherever it lands is the winner. 3, 2, 1. Yeet skeedly doo, baby. Good luck to each and every one of you. Let's see what we got. And it looks like it is Zamora. Congratulations, Zamora, on your winnings. What we'll have you do is reach out to Dan Bob or vice versa. Dan Bob will reach out to you. We'll get some of that information from you. And if you're comfortable with giving us an address to send you, you just won a t-shirt and a coffee mug. So congratulations. And of course, guys, if you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is comment on the live section right there. But congratulations, Zamora. Zamora has been a very long-term follower of the show. So I really appreciate and love seeing you win a little something right there. So Dan Bob will take care of that on the DL, on the DMs, right? All right, guys. So congratulations, and I'm glad that we can do this. So we're going to be doing the same drawing next week, so make sure that you guys tune in. A few other ones that we're going to take a look at is Amazon. Amazon's still tinkering. If you guys don't remember, this line that I drew is from years and years and years ago. It's an area of resistance that needs to be broken. It has done it once, but can it do it again? 3, 4 new lower highs now. I think it has the ability to break through this area. If it does, I think it's going to help carry the rest of the market up with it. So that's going to look very, very good there. We also have Microsoft, guys. It's looking a lot like Amazon, where it's just kind of trading sideways. Of course, it doesn't have previous peak, but these new higher lows, I'm just going to be real with you guys. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the market. But when I look at all of these stocks, I look at the S&P 500, I look at, even Bitcoin, I look at all these trends, I see all these new higher lows. I always say it pays to be positive. I'm positive. I'm bullish on the overall market. And it's easy to be bullish right now. It is. Now, I've been bullish when it was hard to be bullish, guys, because it pays to be positive, right? I've been bullish, and it's been hard to be bullish, but it pays to be positive. And so if you at all are tinkering on which side you want to be on, obviously just step back, figure out what's going on. But it always pays to be positive, right? It always pays to be positive. And we have been for quite some time. Anytime it breaks below that 21-day moving average, I don't talk so positive, right? I'm neutral. So we'll see what we're going to do here. And, Dan Bob Dan just brought up that we do have earnings, a lot of earnings coming up. And what's great about our Discord, which you can join for absolutely free, just click on the link tree and the Discord. You'll see here, he posts in our Discord this earnings whisperer, and it's really, really nice. You can see there's a lot of really good tickers coming up here. I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. I knew there was a lot more. But if you guys look at this, we have tickers like Ford, Phillips. Let's see, we have Waste Management. We have Transmedic, PayPal, SoFi, AMD, Google, Snapchat, Chipotle, Visa. Tuesday is going to be a banger. Crocs, McDonald's, PayPal, I already said PayPal, BP. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot going on Tuesday, big ones. And then, of course, followed up by Wednesday, we have Eli Lilly, Caterpillar, Microsoft, Meta. Wow, bangers. Wednesday's a big day. Robinhood. I need to get rid of my hood, the stocks that I own in hood before Wednesday, obviously. ADP, Roku. You have Carvana. Goodness, Carvana. Oh, when is that thing going to finally fail? And many, many more, guys. I mean, these are just the ones that are sticking out to me. Of course, Thursday, you have Uber, Amazon, Apple, Intel. I mean, great call, Dan Bob. I mean, what kind of show would this be if I didn't point out the fact that we have some bangers coming up here, guys? Then on Friday, ExxonMobil, Wayfair, Charter, Butterfly, Fubo, all these humongous companies coming out to really show their true colors, right? They can talk a big game. They can say, they're the future. They're doing all this. They're doing that. But the proof is in the pudding, and earnings is the pudding. Let's see if you've been doing well or not, okay? And, of course, if you guys want to vote on the poll, we got 9 votes so far. I want to know how you're doing in October. Right now, we're evenly keeled, green and red. 33% say green. 33% say you are red for October. 33% say you are paper trading, which is great. Highly recommend. Well, the new guys are getting into it. So let's see here. What else we got? Oh, we got the watch list. So we always send out a watch list. And, if you guys don't have time to go through it, I understand. It doesn't take long. Once you train your eye into finding these trend breakouts that we constantly bring up, or base breakouts that we're constantly looking for, you can also integrate different types of trading. Like Dan Bob and I were talking about some strategies he and B Stu have been working on and just working out with it. And you can see there's a lot of similarities in different structures, different strokes of trading. And it's great. I love seeing that so many people are kind of branching out and working on new things, because that is what we are here for. We're here to show you structure, a plan, a process of trading. And if it's not right for you, that's fine. You have at least learned a structure, a process, and a plan and risk management all bundled into one little free, here you go, take it or leave it kind of set. And what you do with it is what you will. And now we're starting to see more plays, a lot of different things going on out there. And I absolutely love to seeing people grow. That's the next stage, I think, as you get older, is you just love seeing other people grow. It's not so much about your growth, but it's about other people's growth as well. And that's what makes me feel good. So I love seeing you guys work so damn hard. With that being said, I'm going to bring up a few of the trades that I'm in right now, and then a few of the stocks that I'm going to keep an eye on. All of these I'm going to have to cut very soon because earnings is coming up. VRNA has closed below this 10-day moving average. As you guys know, I don't hold on to a stock after it's closed, but we've been playing this off of 29.83. So I was risking previous low was 2%, and I'm going to be closing out in the morning at 13%. So that's 6R right there, I believe. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, about 6.5R right here on this. And I stayed full share size all the way through. Just while I was working, it was just easier. I just took it. So that'll be getting cut. PLTR, I'm still holding on to this. It never closed below the 10-day, guys. This is what's crazy. I took this trade all the way back down here, okay? And it actually took me a few tries to get in here. It did. Using this low, that's a 1.85% risk. And right now, where it lies, I'm up 22.25. So I'm up over 20R on PLTR right now. I'm very happy with it. Still full share size. And now I'm using this previous scare tactic low where it got soaked right back up as my stop loss. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to wait for it to stop me out here. What I'm waiting for is it to close below the 10-day moving average. So far, we haven't seen that in a very, very long time. So I would like to see that happen before I get spooked out and close this trade. So I really like that. Shakalope says he's in calls for this Friday. Is that for PLTR? Very interesting. Or for McDonald's. Also, we have NVDA, guys. I'm still holding NVDA, and I just think it's doing everything right, really. We had a trend breakout here, a big trend breakout here. Absolutely beautiful on higher than average volume. I took it the next day on a intraday trend breakout setup, and then as it had continuation, I brought up my stop at this low now because of the scare tactic low. We're still holding on to this. It reached new all-time highs about 3 days ago. Still holding on to this, and we're going to see what happens. Yeah, PLTR is very, very interesting. I don't play earnings, though. So Wednesday, I believe we said this is coming out. No, November 4th. PLTR is coming out November 4th. So you better believe that if I'm not completely out, that I'll be at least half out of these shares. Now, I'm only holding 100 shares of this thing, so I'm only up like $769 on 22. But this was my like second or third try trying to get into this. So I at one point I had 500 shares of this. That's why it hurts to say, I only have 100 shares, because I had 5 times the amount of these shares down here when I got stopped out. So looking at this kind of stuff, it makes it tough, but I'm glad that you got calls on it. I wish the best of luck for you, but I would never, ever, ever take a bet, because it's not a bet. It's more of a gamble before earnings. So honestly, best of luck to you though, brother. I really want to see you succeed. We also have Hood. I like the way it's holding out up here out of its trend breakout area, and it keeps trying to make new highs. It's not getting slapped down. It keeps getting bought up, held above the 10-day moving average, and I'm just going to keep continuing to hold. I'm holding this thing at this base breakout. We talked about this base breakout. I played the base breakout. I think I took it on this day here. I don't remember. But either way, it's a good trade. We're going to see where it goes. Let's see. I'm up. Oh, actually, no. I'm not in down here. I must be in somewhere right here on this trend breakout, actually. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I'm only up $1.80. Yeah, so that makes more sense because my stop's up here. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. No, this base breakout, I do have it marked out. I think I played this too. But regardless, I played this trend breakout, and we're playing it at 27 even. So right about here. This base breakout right here. Okay. So that makes more sense why I'm only up $1.80. You guys are buying the coffees. But anyway, so that's what I got going on. And now for the watch list, guys. And I'm going to go through this watch list. I'm only going to give you about 10 to 12 tickers, okay? And if what I don't talk about in these tickers, if you don't hear me bringing up one and you guys want to talk about a specific ticker, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to put in the chat to let me know what ticker you want me to see. All right, Stockalope says that expiration is before earnings, so I'll be out by then. Stockalope, I love it. I love to hear it. You know, I tell you what, this whole community would blow up if I just talked and said what everybody wanted to hear. You know, just buy whatever, just do whatever. But what I love about this community that we have is that we all are disciplined, right? We all have at least a fundamental understanding of what's going on in the stock market, and we're not gambling, right? Now, we all have a tendency to gamble. I think it's natural. But I love the fact that we all kind of meet up in the same spot here. And we all can at least agree on some things, you know. And earnings is definitely a gamble. And I'm glad that you're going to be out of those before then. And I hope PLTR just keeps rip, tater, chipping to the north side for not just you, but for me and anybody else that's holding on to this. I know Dan Bob still got that baby in his pocket. So we'll see what happens there. All right. It is time for the watch list. But just before we do the watch list, guys, I'm going to have to ask you to do me a huge favor. Take a look at my screen. This is a little different this time. I am going to ask you to like and subscribe, but I want to show you where I'm at actually in YouTube. So we've been working on this for quite a few months now, and we have 2,746 public watch hours. The first goal is 3,000. The next is 4,000, and I'll actually be able to make money off of the ads that this curates. Not that this is like, you know, a huge goal or, you know, but it would mean a lot to me. I absolutely love working on these YouTube and making all this free content. So, you know, if you have time, go through watch some of the videos, enjoy it. And of course, guys, we're so close to hitting that 3,000 public watch time hours for this. And that way I can start doing other things, you know, super shopping memberships. I can add merch, all that kind of cool stuff. So I just want to show you where I was at there. And then, of course, hit that like and subscribe for me, guys. It's right here. And if you ever want to get any of this right here, click that like button for me and then click this more button. And you can see right here, I have a link tree. You can join. You can see our YouTubes right here. We have a free dedicated swing trading school. There's so much in that swing trading school, guys. If you watch that, I promise you, you're going to have a better understanding about the overall market. And of course, if you have an open mind and a golden heart, join our Discord. Our family's here waiting for you, taking any kind of questions that we can answer as long as you have those two requirements. And of course, TradingView. TradingView, I'm sponsored by this show. If you want to click on this link, I get a little kickback. Download that. It's absolutely free, but if you buy the basic plan like I use, I get a little kickback and you get all the free abilities that comes with TradingView as well as the add-on. We also have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. Of course, Facebook, #1 thing to check out. That's the Swing Trader Strategies Facebook. That's where I am home. That is my home base, and I'd love for you to meet me here. We are all here, and we all love to swing trade. So we'll see you guys very soon on there. And, well, now that we're all done with that, guys, we're all done with that. Do keep in mind, if you don't see anything that I'm talking about on my watch list that I'm going to bring up right meow, then I want you to put it in the chat so we can look it over. First things first is UPS2. UPST had a huge bout of volume, a pullback, another breakout higher on volume, and look at it starting to squat down in the 10-day moving average. We will see very, very soon if this wants to break out. I think it needs a few more days to trade sideways, create new higher lows, and UPST might be a good one. I wanted to bring up SRRK because I still think this needs more time. I think it's starting to set up this trend that we wanted to see so very long. Last week we were talking about it. It was over here. You know, we have this beautiful trend starting to form. It's starting to want to hold a 10-day moving average. Let's see if it can continue to hold. If it starts to get tight, SRRK might be a huge banger in the very near future. Now, if you guys don't remember, I don't mind, but all the way back here, way back yonder, about 2 months ago, 4 months ago, I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, 4 months ago, guys. 4 months ago, we were talking about Sweet Green. Sweet Green failed. Epic fail. Came back like a fiend on some explicit drug. and broke out higher. Look at this thing. It's starting to create this new higher lows now, so I'm starting to trust it again. It's a faster mover. I like sweet green. I like the concept of it, but we'll see what happens here. I just have an alert. We're going to see if volume wants to take this higher, but do keep in mind that we do have earnings coming up, and you're going to hear me say that a lot throughout this. We have PRQR. You can see why I like it. Big push up on volume, a pullback, and some sideways action. You know, we can ride this 10-day moving average and get a little tighter. A trend breakout on PRQR might be imminent. So it's one I definitely want to keep an eye on. But do keep in mind, guys, when you're watching stocks like PRQR and you don't understand risk management, this is how you screw yourself on your account, okay? You have to understand risk management here, all right? Because this thing moves 14.7%. It's a fast mover, so please be careful. OCUL is another one I'm keeping on my watch list. I just like the look of this thing. When I zoom out here, I see it's making new higher lows. We had a previous breakout. It's just one I want to keep on my watch list. It's definitely not a 5-star, but I think if we give this thing some time and let it kind of work itself out and start to form that triangle, we'll keep it going. We also have GEVO. I still like it. Yes, it made a huge move here. Yes, that's what some stocks do. Now it's going to pull back, create a trend line. Maybe we see something in the mix where it moves back up here, down, starts riding that 10-day moving average, getting tight before it breaks out to the north side. So that's just a guess. Do I know what's actually going to happen? No. But if it did, I definitely have a great area of risk to reward in order to be able to capitalize on a trade like this. All right, GANX. I think this thing's tightening up very well. I like to see all this soaking down here at the 10-day moving average. Now it's getting really tight. This right here could have a beautiful breakout coming up very soon. Another couple of tight days, inside days here, would make it very much more appealing. But as of right now, this looks pretty good. That's GANX. And something I wanted to bring up, guys, because when I say 5-star, I do have a pamphlet, a booklet, itinerary to show you what a 5-star is. But I found a 5-star that we missed, and I wanted to go over it with you guys really quick. This is ATGL, okay? Look at this huge move on volume, and as it contracts, there is absolutely no volume being traded. That's the VPC pattern. Doesn't get any better than that. Dan, Bob, and I were talking about this in the Discord meeting that we had last Wednesday. And this is a perfect example right here. If we look at it before it broke out, you can see it pushes up higher here, gets above that 200-day moving average, pulls back on much lighter volume, starts trading sideways, and look how tight this stinker gets, creating new lower highs as it breaks out on volume that next day. This had given you all the opportunity during the day to actually get into this when you've seen the volume. If you had this trend break drew out and you understood the new higher lows as it gets tight following a 10-day moving average. That's what we're looking for, people. ATGL. If you want to train your eye, this is what you look for, okay? This is what we're looking for every single day. This is what we're trying to capitalize on. Whoever took ATGL, stand up, give you an ovation. Well done, because I missed it. And these are my 5-star setups, okay? Absolutely beautiful. If you're just joining me, all you need to do is find my voice. Make sure you comment on this live stream because then you'll be entered to win. We already had Zamora today. Congratulations, Zamora. Entered to win, and she won a t-shirt and she won a coffee mug, and all she had to do last week was comment. So if you want to be entered to win for next week, make sure you comment, write meow. Yes, I said meow. All right, next up is CRDO. I've been watching this from a long time ago. Yeah, I meant to rhyme. But this thing is creating new higher lows, and I really like kind of where this trend break is starting to happen. Right here, it's more like a base now. It started as like a trend, but it's starting to base out a little bit. Maybe give this a few more days. Let it keep smacking its head and getting really, really tight at that 40.25. And then if it breaks out from this area on volume, you guys know what to do. And I think I got one or two more. Oh, the CRT has earnings. There's a lot that I wanted to skip just because of earnings. CAPR, this has earnings as well, but it's not until the 14th. This has a nice push up. It's getting a little choppy here, though. It's not as clean, but I like it. I put it on my list. We also have a few that look very similar. I don't know if they're correlated or not. Maybe you can tell me, but BILI looks like it's pretty choppy, but it's been an interesting one. I think this is more of a Chinese stock, and that's why it's moving this way, because it looks a lot like PDD. See how it's like really choppy? I bet that's, yeah, I bet BILI is a Chinese stock. I can just tell by the way it moves. I'm going to look it up just to see. Let's see how good I am. Technology Pack Services. Let's see where it's from. Let's see. Yeah, Shanghai, China. I could tell. You could just tell by the volatility in it. You know, it's moving a lot like BABA as well. Like, see how the choppiness, and then, you know, the after hours trading, because they're trading it over there. So yeah, you could tell. Cool. So yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got, baby. And then BHVN. I really like this one. I really did like this one. If I could just cut off the previous, you know, section of this chart, I like this. This is getting nice and tight on the riding 10-day moving average. Never closed below it, minus this day. But looks like it's trying to hold on. Maybe I set an alert here. If it breaks out above this area and we start to see volume, you guys know what to do. You know what I'm going to do, baby. But we'll see. We'll see very, very soon. Oh, and do you guys remember ANNX? Look at this. Huge push up. We have this beautiful trend break. And, you know, we marked out a few other things on this thing. But this right here, it's starting to ride that 10-day moving average. We're going to see if it wants to get tight on here. Definitely not my favorite. My favorite is, you know, we talked about LSF as, by the way, as well last week. We seen it setting up here. This thing broke down and still came back. This is beautiful. It like shook everybody out. This is an undercut right here and a rally. Look at that beautiful thing. LSF, we talked about that last week. Another one that broke out too from last week that we brought to you guys was TSSI. This thing broke out. Absolutely beautiful. APP, absolutely same thing. I showed you the base breakout. It did the same damn thing. We talked about Rail. Rail is still continuing to rip, tater, chip. And congratulations to everybody in Rocket Lab as well. We brought that up. And thank you to all of you who brought up Rocket Lab, who brought up Hood, who brought up the Rails and the LSFs, because I know I did not find each and every one of those on my own. You guys were really absolutely killing it. So let's go over a few of the stocks that are in the chat right now, guys. So what we're going to do now is I'm done. I gave you my watch list. I told you exactly what I'm watching. I got a lot of alerts set. We're going to see if we get a go on those. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the chat and see what the rest of you conjured up in there. Let's see. RKLB. Yeah, that's what we're looking at now. And, you know, Dan Bob, you actually called this beautiful setup all the way back here. You took this trade around 766, and Dan Bob played this knowing that it's probably going to pull back because he's been doing this long enough now. He knows it's not going to go straight up. And it did. It pulled back, and he said, watch, it's probably going to set up again. He said he was going to add into it. I hope you did add into it, Dan Bob, because it's an absolutely beautiful trend and a base breakout. You could have played it either way. The trend breakout would have made you a little bit more money, but regardless, it's still keeping on. So it's still looking good. I like this basing right here as well. So Rocket Lab, still looking good, still looking healthy. We do have earnings coming up. Let's look and take a little peeky gander on the 12th. So November 12th. Let's see. We also have VZLA. You know what? I think I skipped the V's and the Z's in the watch list. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. But this is silver, guys. This moves 4.6%. You can see it's on a very clear uptrend. This thing just kind of bounces around, though. Even though it moves 4.6%, you can see overall, you know, in, 4 months, it's only moved 20%. So even though it moves that much, it's very volatile. It's still kind of just chopping around. Now it's finally above this area. It's kind of hard to, be bearish on something that's holding this area, but I think it needs more time for a play personally. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with VZLA. Thanks for bringing that up. We have OKLO. I think we're about to get into some of the small cap stocks. I know you guys have been looking at small cap stocks quite a bit. I do want to just always keep in mind when you're looking at small cap stocks, you can go down a pretty dirty rabbit hole. Always be very careful. Always have risk. Please, please, please have risk in mind. I don't want to lose any of my friends or anybody in my community to small cap stocks. Okay, I've lost money in small cap stocks. You will lose money in small cap stocks. If you are going to play small cap stocks, please understand there's more inherent risk. Try not to hold overnight. I'm not going to try and tell you how to trade, but just please keep in mind that you understand what you're doing because you can really make or break your account. Like with OKLO. Now, with that being said and that set aside, when you look at OKLO, I'm looking for something like a trend or a base breakout, but the first thing I always look at is more for a trend. So if this thing, let's say it looks something like this and gets nice and tight right here, this is what I'm looking for OKLO now. Let's hold that 10 or 21 day moving average. Let's show that this huge sucker punch, this huge uppercut is just flying higher, and let's pull back, consolidate, have some volume price contraction, and we'll see how good that does. Andre Wait, I did not talk about SoFi yet, but if you'd like me to, I will get to it after two more tickers. We have SLI. This is looking good too. I like that big push up on volume. It hasn't really pulled back on lighter volume, and I'm not seeing a trade just yet, but you can see it's trying to hold this 21-day moving average. So if we give it, let's say, a lot of time, maybe it'll bounce around here just like I've been kind of drawing out on most other scenarios. Let's say it does something like this, and it rides that 21 and breaks out. I'm definitely thinking that could do a little something. We also have SMR and NNE. So SMR is going to be your leader right now as NNE had a small pullback. SMR looks like it's kind of getting a little choppy. I mean, what is going on here? There's a lot of movement, lots of wicks, but you guys can see it's definitely in play. This thing is definitely going crazy with volume. I don't see a trend or a base. I mean, you could consider maybe this a base, but ooh, I mean, a small risk on this thing, guys. I know Dan Bob's been really reading into this, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the SMR. And a friendly reminder, if you are watching right now and you haven't said anything in the comments, make sure that you do to be entered in next week's drawing. We had Zamora win today. Congratulations, Zamora. So pumped for you. So this is SMR. Definitely one to keep an eye on. I can't find a play in this, okay? And earnings is coming up soon. But you need to just keep an eye on SMR and NNE, okay? They're nuclear, they're small, they're fast movers. It's definitely fun to watch. At least understand them, okay? Let's talk about SoFi. Why not? Let's talk about SoFi. So SoFi is screaming higher. Look at this. Screaming higher. I can't trade this, and there's not much I can do. But obviously, their earnings is coming out in 2 days. So on Tuesday, SoFi is coming out. This might be a sell the news thing. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I will say this. After earnings, I'm definitely going to look at SoFi and see what happened there, okay? But as of right now, you know, it's screaming to the north side right before earnings. I don't think that that's a good look, personally. You know, I think that's kind of a sell the news event when you're screaming higher and then the news comes out. It doesn't matter if they're killing it or if they're not. I think that this has a chance or the ability to sell off. You know, there's no surprise here. That's the thing. There's no surprise here. If earnings comes out and it's a surprise and they beat, it doesn't look like anybody's surprised. It looked like everybody knew about it. But let's say it ran up and it isn't a surprise. They're still doing absolute dog crap. Well, then guess what? This rally is not justified and will probably be sold off. So that's kind of my psychology behind it. If you don't like it, explain your psychology behind this run up right before earnings. Maybe you can help show me a different side of things, but that's just what I truly believe. I think SoFi is going to sell off due to earnings, even if it beats. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, I don't really know, and I wouldn't bank on it on anything I say. It's just something that I've seen before. So BIVI for your boy Maya. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. So BIVI, you can see we get a huge bout of volume here, and it's trading sideways. This thing could technically be very, very powerful because we're getting a huge push up on volume here, and then it pulls back here, right? And now it's just trading sideways. Unless this was a split, which it doesn't look like it was a split. If this actually holds out and creates new higher lows, this thing could be very, very powerful. As of right now, I don't see the 3 new higher lows. So we're going to have to wait and see what this thing brings. But right now, it's trying to set up. I don't like it because it's below a 200-day moving average. Not to say I can't do well below a 200-day moving average, but as of right now, it still has proving to do for me. But it's holding, it's trying to create new higher lows. It's getting tight. We'll see if it has continuation. What else we got? IREN. So IREN is one of those data processors, also known as like a Bitcoin miner. Okay, they have a different way of justifying what they do, though. And you can see there is so much damn volume in this stock. Look at this. This thing is like on fire down here. Absolutely bonkers. When we look at IREN, I see potential. I see a lot of potential. I think, we're going to need a lot of data processors, a lot of computing, a lot of things that are going on like that. And I think it has a lot of potential. Is it time? Is it the right time? I would like to think so. As of right now, I don't see anything really going on. I see the new higher lows, right? I see a possible base breakout right here. But it's hard for me to find a good risk, right? It's hard for me to find a good risk. So definitely want to keep on the watch list, definitely trending higher. But we're going to see where it ends up. I don't have a trade on IREN, but definitely want to keep an eye on. Stock Globe says, do you look at 1 hour chart for setups like Tesla? I do like to zoom in on the 1 hour. So I do like Tesla. I like the way it's looking. Definitely a huge pop here. Apparently they're like in the robo-taxi. You can see the earnings had a beat. Revenue did not have a beat. So we're going to see what happens here. It's right here at, a pretty pivotal area. But yeah, if you look at the hourly, 100%. This hourly trend break setup, base breakout setup, definitely could work. It definitely could work. Like I said, though, Tesla's been messing with me, man. It has messed with me. So I'm pretty exhausted on Tesla. I'm keeping my focus elsewhere. But yeah, definitely Tesla. On the hourly, I like the trend break setup because you can risk this new higher low at 265.64 and enter at 269 and have a $2.50 thought out risk. Okay, so I like Tesla. I like the hourly trend break, but I don't like on the daily. I don't like that it's so extended from its moving averages right now. So that it's kind of, that's the devil and the angel on the shoulder there. So you got to be careful with that. The Christ niche. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. He says AMZN. So that's Amazon. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but we'll just skip over it really quick. So if I blow this up on the daily, guys, you can see if we zoom all the way out, this top red line is the area of resistance. And you can just see Amazon is sitting at that area of resistance. If you don't know what resistance and support is, please go to my YouTube. Look up that free swing trading school. Watch all the videos. By the time it's done, I promise you, you're going to have a better understanding of the overall technical analysis and the market in general. So AMZN is right there at its resistance area. It's hit its head so many times on this area, on the overall, probably 20 times. This 190 area has shown a key area for a breakout. So we'll see. Dan just posted. He said, follow us on all platforms and posted that link tree right there in the chat for you guys. Guys, I got to say thank you. I got to say thank you to everybody. This community really has grown and molded into something awesome. I really appreciate each and every one of you because you guys bring so much to the table. There's only so much that I can do. There's only so many people I can talk to and try and teach. You guys have taken it a step further now. You learn from me. Now you're teaching other people. Now you're working on new strategies. We are starting to grow. We've only been doing this for a short period of time, and this YouTube channel anyway, creating this community. And now it's starting to mold into such a cool community. I feel like we're the older, more mature, not all this crazy, like wild betting kind of, gambling. We're looking out for each other. We're making sure we're doing the right thing and we're following a process. So thank you guys so much for being here. Andre said, is your plays going to be in the Discord? Yeah, on Wednesday, we'll go over them. We have another meeting on Wednesday. So if you're a part of the Discord, Andre, yes, we will be in the Discord on Wednesday, and we'll go over my trades. I also do post. I'm not an alert service. I'm not going to post right when I get in or out of a stock, but I will let you know if something comes up on my alerts. If I'm looking at it and I'm in front of my phone or computer, I do alert the Discord and I let them know, hey, my alert's going off. That doesn't mean I'm taking the trade. It doesn't mean I'm doing anything with it, but I do give alerts. They're not buy or sell alerts though. Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope each and every one of you had an awesome time. Anybody that has commented is now in the drawing for next week, except for you, Zamora. You've already won it. And as long as we get everything in line, we're going to send that shirt and mug right out to you. So I hope you can enjoy it. We're going to end the poll now. How are you doing in October so far? 36% of you say you are green. 36% of you say that you are red. 27% say you're just paper trading, so it doesn't really matter. And we're going to end that poll on that. I'm glad that you are mostly green. Those that of you are red, make sure you lower your risk and you understand what you are doing so that way you can fix it. And guys, thank you so much. Help me get those watch time hours. If there's a video out there that you haven't watched in my YouTube, give her a watch, give her a look-see, learn a little something, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Guys, thank you so much for each and every one of you being here. You guys are awesome. And hang out after the outro, and I'll give you a special shout out on the way out. Thanks, guys. Peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Jimmy Bright. Have a good night, brother. It's good to see ya. Andre. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Thanks for swinging in. Dan Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, has came and he has done his damage. B. Stewie, thank you so much for being here, brother. We got to chat. I try to link up with you an hour before the show so we can work on some strategies, B. Stewie. Let's do it, brother. Don't ditch me. Don't try and hide from me, B. Stewie. I want to know all about your trades, baby. Tell me your sexy trades. Yosef, thank you so much for being here. Wooden, you're awesome, brother. Both of you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Matt, thank you so much for stopping in, brother. Best of luck to you. Stockalope, the man, the myth, the legend, Stockalope, making that money. Love to see you in here. The Kristenist. Am I saying that right? The Kristenish. I hope you have a good night. Thank you so much for swinging in here. Who else we got? Zamora, congratulations once again, Zamora. Erica K, always here, showing her support. Thank you so much, Erica, for being here. Jimmy Bright, we already got you, Jimmy. All right, cool. I think we got everybody. And you know what? I'm going to give a special shout out to your girl, Jolene, sweet Jolene. Thank you, Jolene. I know you're always watching these after the fact because you're grandma Ubering or goobering, if you will. So thank you so much for taking care of them. And thank you, Matt. Good luck tomorrow, Dave. Good luck to you too, sir. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.